If you feel that being too tired is usually the obstacle that gets in the way of doing more things that would add value to your life, like doing your workout, prepping meals, cleaning a bit more, working on your business, stick around because in this video, I'm going to give you step-by-step pointers and instructions on how to do things tired. Hi, my name is Jimena and I'm a behavior change coach and the director of coaching at Body Brain Alliance. And I want to start this video with actually giving you two disclaimers. The first one is that doing things tired is a great strategy that you can apply in some situations, but it can't be your only strategy. If you are chronically sleep deprived, if you're constantly feeling tired, you actually need to address that first. Constantly doing things tired can actually lead to a state of exhaustion that is going to be counterproductive to your health. Second of all, if you're experiencing any type of health condition that really impacts your energy levels and you're constantly feeling tired, you can use and adjust some of these strategies into your life, but also give yourself grace and know when these strategies are just not applicable to you. And that is totally okay. Now, why would we actually decide to do things tired? If you're constantly finding yourself in a situation where you're feeling too tired, your energy tends to be a little lower, and you know that this is a season of life where things are unlikely to change, and you're doing your best to actually get as much sleep as possible, whatever that looks like, it might be worth it to consider if doing things, even though you're a little more tired than usual, is still worth it and actually more valuable than not doing things because you're feeling too tired. This might resonate with you if you are a caretaker, a parent, if you have maybe a health condition that is limiting your energy availability, if you're going through a particularly grueling training season in your life, and you can see that doing things tired is going to be worth it and it's going to actually add value there. Doing things tired is also going to be a mindset and a skill that you can cultivate. One thing that we want to consider is that often I'm too tired becomes a cognitive habit. This means that this is a standard that your brain has to make decisions. We feel tired and immediately we decide that we're not going to be doing this. And a cognitive habit, which is again, a way that your brain has to make decisions, can be broken and redone or redefined as any other habit that you'll be working on. So from this place, we can actually create a new procedure where our brain can register that we are too tired, but indeed we are not too tired to do a certain thing that we want to do. And we can make that decision in the moment instead of automatically jumping into that thought of too tired to do anything. The number one thing that we want to do is start working on building more self-awareness about our current baseline of energy. So something that could be happening is that you're measuring your tiredness based on other moments of your life where maybe your tiredness levels were entirely different, your energy levels were entirely different. So we need to get reacquainted with what tired means to us now. Also, when we're thinking that we are too tired, we want to consider that too tired is actually a judgment. So we can assess whether we are tired and still able to do the thing that we want to do. You need to start knowing this present version of your body and start making decisions based on how you're feeling right now and the knowledge that you have about your ability to engage in that situation. So basically, don't decide that the water is too cold before dipping your toe into that. As someone that has an autoimmune condition, like I can tell you that a lot of times I feel like I'm probably too tired to do something, but give myself the opportunity to put that to the test and engage with the activity before I decide to opt out of it actually gives me more chances to follow through with that and to decide that maybe I can do an adjusted version of that and still show up for my values in some form. The second step here is actually adjusting your expectations around how fast or how easy things will feel. We can acknowledge that we can totally do things tired. And we can also acknowledge that they will probably feel different than when we're feeling refreshed or energized. So we not only want to adjust our mindset to embrace and accept that situation, but we also want to set some bare minimums for quick decision making. So if you do indeed decide that you might be too tired to do the regular version of the things that you do, you can decide on some other versions of that. You can decide on some standards for good, better, best, and actually maybe turn to good for that situation. So for instance, instead of doing your whole workout, maybe you're only doing the main lifts and not the accessories. Or instead of actually committing to a 1 hour workout, you're committing to 50 minutes of a workout. We can also decide that instead of running at a certain speed, our goal is just to complete the run, whatever that looks like. In this situation, we are acknowledging that things might feel different. And different is not worse. And if you're actually entering the activity from this accepting mindset that things might look different, that difference won't be shocking. And it will probably not be as discouraging that it will lead to abandoning the activity altogether. The third step here is actually adjusting your schedule in a flexible, realistic, and compassionate way. We also need to accept that when we are tired, we're probably going to be a bit slower. It's going to be a bit harder to focus. It's going to be a bit harder to get started. We're going to need bit more of a warm-up, and that is totally okay. But if you have the possibility, I would encourage you to actually add a little buffer to the activities that you're doing, just accounting for that extra time that things might take. If that is not a possibility, I want to encourage you to actually adjust your planned activity or your schedule to contemplate doing a shorter version of those things. This is actually the perfect time to start using cognitive flexibility. This is the time for you to adjust to your environment, to your changing context, and make value-based decisions from that place. The fourth step here is actually getting your nervous system on board. So we want to make sure that you're intentionally creating some type of activation from your nervous system. We can't really expect to engage energetically in an activity when our system is actually in a relaxed state. There are different things that you can actually try here to engage your nervous system and create that activation that we want to do things tired. One of those strategies could be using a proper warm-up and muscle activation if you're doing some type of physical activity. The other option could be using breath of fire, and you can actually look this up. The other idea here could be using some type of stimulation like music or a playlist that makes you feel more alive and more upbeat. And there are extra bonus points for that if you're actually using a playlist that evokes some type of emotion or positive thoughts that are going to uplift you. You can also think about making your environment work for you. So bright lights and a colder environment are actually going to do more for you to make you feel more awake and energized than a dark environment that is also warm, that is going to make you feel more sleepy. You also want to remember to move around and not get stuck into what we call quicksand. So actually sitting on the couch and just kind of like parking yourself there is probably not going to make you feel alive and energized. What we want there is to make sure that you're moving around, that the blood is flowing, and that you are creating that activation that we were talking about before. And lastly, we actually want to start creating cues and triggers for your brain to know that it's time to get in that state of feeling more energetic and getting moving, right? So this can look like putting on a certain outfit, having a certain beverage. It can look like maybe a ritual that you're doing in the morning. It can look like having a specific corner of your house that allows you to get into that state of mind. This is going to help you create that transition and purposeful anticipation that we need to allow yourself to get out of that state of being too tired. And lastly, once you have already done the thing, along with celebrating that you were able to do things while tired, that you were able to do hard things, we also want to use that to create evidence that is supportive of some new beliefs that we're building. So I would encourage you to actually think about how you felt before starting the activity and reflecting on how tired you thought you were, maybe even rating that from 1 to 5, how tired you felt throughout the activity and how you felt after, so that you can actually create some evidence that helps your brain see that even when we feel like we're too tired, we might probably be able to do a little more than we thought we could. And if your first struggle is actually about getting yourself out of bed and getting awake, we have a full playlist on this that you can check out in our channel. We have also talked about cognitive habits, and you can learn more about cognitive habits within our bonus workshop, How to Build Mental Toughness, in our membership. If you like this video, I want to see more like this, please make sure to hit like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if any of this resonates with you.